Okay, I'm doing a commemorative speech on Johann Sebastian Bach. The instrumental piece that you just heard is the intro to Toccata and Fugue in D minor. This is known to be one of Bach's most infamous and iconic pieces of Baroque organ music ever written. According to Johann Sebastian Bach, the Learned Musician by Christoph Wolff, Bach initially composed it in 1705. The Encyclopedia of World Biography states that Bach was one of the greatest composers of all time, but during his lifespan, his works was little known of. Bach's music is greatly iconic and still recognizable today. It is my pleasure to commemorate the German Baroque composer and organist Johann Sebastian Bach. Wolff's book says that the famous musician was born in Eisenach, Germany on March 31st, 1685. Wolff states that Bach was born into a family of musicians. Bach's father, Johann Bach, was a lead director of the town musicians. His uncles were all professional musicians as well. His mother passed away in 1694 and his father passed away only 8 months later. He was 10 years old when it happened. He then moved in with his older brother, Johann Christian Bach. Bach, according to Wolff, was granted a choral scholarship to study at the respected St. Michael's School in Lemberg. The World Biography points out that Johann Sebastian Bach was deeply religious and he composed mainly sacred music to be played in churches. Now that I've told you a little about his early life, now I will talk about his early career. A website titled Biography states that Bach's early career involved playing the violin and organ and at a low-level position in Weimar in 1703. During Bach's time at Weimar, his reputation as a keyboardist spread so much that he was invited to give the inaugural recital at St. Boniface's Church in Arnstadt. He left his position after he was offered an organist post at St. Blasius in Mulhausen. This move did not turn out as well as he had planned. The website points out that Bach's musical style was conflicted with the church's pastor. Bach was interested in creating difficult arrangements, and the pastor believed the church music needed to be more simple. During this period, Bach married his cousin, Maria Barbara Bach, in 1707. They were together for 13 years and had 7 children together. She passed away in 1720. He later got married to another woman. Toccata and Fugue in D minor has to be Bach's most recognizable composition. A website titled Baroque Music states that Toccata and Fugue in D minor was composed while Bach was an organist and chamber musician to the Duke of Saxe-Weimar. It is believed that this piece was almost certainly not made for the organ and was probably initially composed for the violin. The website points out that the conductor, Leopold Stokowski, made a useful orchestral composition and is mostly responsible for the popular reputation of this work. Stokowski's 1940 transcript was notably featured in Walt Disney's Fantasia cartoon. The World Biography points out that the work was first published by Breitkopf and Hartel in late 1833 as part of a compilation of Bach's organ works. In the 20th century, that work was usually viewed very differently as a daring and dramatic piece. Writing in 2005, organist and Bach scholar Hans Fagius, according to the World Biography book, said the lasting popularity of the work is not hard to understand, since there is a fantastic drive and energy to the piece that makes it irresistible. So in conclusion, Johann Sebastian Bach was a methodical artist and devoted greatly to his religion. Although he gave the world a musical and artistic legacy, it is no surprise he came from a musical background. I hope my commemoration has inspired each of you to have a greater awareness and appreciation for Bach's music. Personally, Bach's music has grown to be more popular than I had ever imagined. Sadly, he passed away on July 28, 1750. He was only 65 years old. A newspaper said his cause of death was of the unhappy consequences of a very unsuccessful eye operation. Bach's music is still relevant today and will just grow more popular with each future generation.